Alright, well hopefully you guys can see this. Assuming there's anyone even there. So, here is my dye station / sink. There's that piece. So we're not too dense in the center. This isn't dense. It's not too bad right there. This is all really loose stuff. So honestly, what I like to do with that is I like to try to wash into it as much as I can. Try to figure out which one of these has got soda ash in it. If you don't have one, you can get one. pH tester. I swear it never fails. Oh, we're back. Sorry about that. Shake that shit off. Alright, anyway, what I was saying is if you don't got a pH tester, it's a good thing to have one to make sure that your soda ash water is where it needs to be. You can see here's just some regular soda ash right in there. It is not going to get any higher than what that says it is, right? So that is more than enough soda ash to create a chemical reaction with the dye process, and we're at 11.4 on this right now with raw soda ash. That's water. I thought I had one of these that was just water and then one that had soda ash in it, but when I did the reading on both of them, they both said the same thing, so maybe they both are. However, I'm not going to take that chance, one of them just being regular, one of them being unleaded. So I got a boiling pot of water over here. I'm putting soda ash in that. I put half a cup in there. There is a 1.8 liters right there. We know that's got see, so here, this is just a cup of water I got over there for my dye pens, and out of the tap, check it out, we got, so tap water is 8.4. Where I'm at, we're on reverse osmosis, so it's good water. I still use distilled water when I make my chemicals, or when I make my dye. I use distilled water. If you want my recipe, you can send me a message, but pretty much I do 1.5 liters of distilled water. And then what I do on top of that is I do about a cup and a half of urea. I do about a teaspoon of I don't know how you pronounce it, Ludigol. And then depending on what kind of saturation level I'm doing, depends on how much of the, I don't even know how to pronounce that stuff, the alginate, but about a teaspoon or less. Lately I've been doing a lot less, to the point that really, if this is my teaspoon, I'm probably, well, I'll just show you what I do. Here's my stuff. I do about that much. All right, that's it. Because I want to make sure that I get down deep in there, okay? And then with my oil, I'm doing, really it's like 1, 2, 3. You know, so that way it penetrates a little bit better. And then I also add salt to it. So I'm doing about 4 tablespoons of salt per mixture, right? So that's 1.8 liters to 1.5 liters. That's my recipe. Now you know. We're not going to let the soda ash go to waste, even though I waste a lot of soda ash. So let's get it going. I need my music. Music, please. I need something different. We need something. Oh, I don't know what the hell that song is. It sucked. All right, we're going some widespread. We're gonna die now. I'm gonna go in with yellow. This is UV. Right on the shoulder. Now you see that? See that drip down? I'm a big believer that the dye is gonna go where it needs to go and it wants to go. So, we love you, dye. We love you guys. Yeah. If you guys want to check out a cool book, it's about the crystallization of ice under positive fed water. And it's a trip, y'all. Like, if you don't know anything about the positivity that you can put into the universe and around you and into yourself, right? What you're telling yourself, what you're looking at in the mirror, what you're saying to yourself in the mirror, is very important. And what this says in the book, they took water that they fed positivity to, all right, and they froze it. And the ones that they froze, that they gave positive reinforcement to, listening to like classical music and stuff like that, were beautiful pieces of like frost, or like frozen, look like snowflakes, but the way they crystallized. All right, my water's going over here. That's the one thing about soda ash water. It'll boil fast. You gotta keep an eye on it. Then they took water and they talked negatively to it, really awful noises, that kind of stuff to it, and they froze it, and it had deformed crystals. Like they were like muted and they didn't form perfect. Like they didn't look the same across the board. And so what you carry in your world is what you're gonna get. And I carry some days that also. It's just, unfortunately, I'm human, and I pick up stuff that other people put down against my will, if you will. I don't want to pick up what you're putting down. Unfortunately, I do. So check it out. Oversaturation here. Now look, that is a great example of what I was talking about earlier. It's got too much dye in it, and it's created a cake right on top of it. Now if I left that alone, that right there would be, you would see that right over the shirt. It'd just be like a big dye spot. So 2 things that need to happen. You can filter your stuff, which I do occasionally. And then you can also dilute it. And the only way you're gonna get that off right now, I'm gonna show you how I do it. Hopefully it's gonna be hot enough. Soda ash has a tendency to react where that bottle will get so hot you can't even hold it. Hand-me-down rules. Put it right on top of that and break it up. Now this is another good reason why you should turn your shirts inside out. And I forgot gloves like an idiot. So I'm gonna walk around like a jaundiced baby. Look, it's still not draining. See, that's what I'm talking about. Now, tell me, when you get too much dye on your shirt, that's what's happening on the inside of your folds. It's not draining. It's not making it through because it's caked up. So it's gonna take a while because I just put way too much in that, too much dye. Now look at it. Just by putting some regular now you can see here. Sometimes what I'll do is you can look on the sidewalls there and see how caked up it is. So sometimes what I'll do is I use a paint strainer, and I'll go through each dye, and I'll overdo it, and I pour it on top of it just to make sure that I don't have the same problem. All right, so we got our yellow, we got our red in there. Again, it's just a little bit on it, but see what it does? See how dark it gets right there? And it almost has like a sheen to it. So I'll actually use a wire brush sometimes and try to get that off. Here it is right here. I'll dip it in water and try to get that off of it if I see that happening. But you know, it is still doing what it wants to, and here's me trying to control it, right? So we got our yellow down. We got it, it's gonna be look like fire. It's all bleeding out, you know. Once this drains down a little bit more, maybe I can get some more red in it. So you can just go right in here with some distilled water to dilute it. And my buddy Alex, he'll take it like this and put it on it to see. One, so he sees what his color pattern is going to do, but I think he told me once he does it so he can see what it's going to look like with it. And if you can see, here is a great example of too much dye in your mixture. I overly dye, but that line right there is kind of caked on. And of course, there's been no soda ash added to this. It's just that's the way it should look, right? But if I went to each one, here's black, right? Are they going to cake up? Here's this is gray. Here's my blue. This is maroon. This is, I think it's ice or something, I can't remember. What was that one? That's some type of green. I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. So I can watch this and see how it dries out and see what it does. But the maroon looks okay, but I can see it wants to cake a little bit. Remember, these are down in here. The reason that I want it to be more liquid is because of what I'm trying to achieve out of this is I want to see it mix. I want to see it like almost like fading into itself, into each other, creating its own colors. I think that's really cool when it does that. So if I go in there with some blue right now, down below it's going to turn, this is going to turn green, right? But it started out yellow at the top. That looks brown, but it's actually going to be more of a reddish color, purplish also. Now you could put a little black in it. You're going to do much, and then hit it. Your yellow. Now see that black's made up. It's got a little bit of blue in it to create that black, and it's turning green. Gonna make me feel right, yeah. Now let's just, we got green in there. Just add a little green. We're gonna go below, right below where that black is. Now, I can get it greener. I might hit a little blue right below it, the green, and then go right in with yellow. Now remember, this is UV. Look, it ain't draining anymore. Isn't that funny? So, I did what Dharma says and I added 2 more to it, so. You're up for slow it's draining. It's crazy. Gonna make a mess here. Ready? And what I mean by a mess, I mean in my hands. That's Firecracker. That is a discontinued color that Dharma has. You can go into their specialty colors and order stuff that they don't put on the normal list. Oh, jumped out. No, we're gonna call that one done because it's just pissing me off now. Let's try this one. remember. I put more distilled water in that. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Come on. Come on, man. What you got? A little better. Is that we needed? Just a little bit of more water in it. Thin it out a little bit. Yeah, that thing's starting to charge up. You can see the red around it. Like it just starts lighting up. And we do multi-layer colors. We just had a power blink. All right, got our green, right? I hit with blue again right down here. And I want that to try to stay blue if we can. It may change. It may hit the yellow and wash out. If that happens, you have a problem with that, right? Mix up some, let's see here, watermelon. Get some watermelon and then add that to it. But don't go with what the suggestion says. Okay, and then you want to thin it out a little bit, and then put that on top of it, or put that as a barrier in between the two. It'll help. All right, here's a mandala right here. Now, you see how this thing's just drinking it's drinking it. Now we're gonna go blue. I want it to be green on one side and I want it to be blue on the other. Yep. Now we're going to go in with maroon because I want purple on one side. We'll run into that blue and turn a little purplish color, and we'll get it to fade out on the other side. All right. Now we're going to go in with our red on the other side of that purple. I hit it black right there. There we go. That's cool. All right, I'm going to do some thunderclouds here. We're going gray right above all that yellow. I'm hitting the fabric below it. I'm not trying to get the yellow gray. I'm trying to hit, think about like the sunlight on our shoulders. This is the sleeves kind of coming down. Got a little gray in there. Now, what would make that look good? Maybe if we had like a popping out of that gray, like a little blue lightning, right where that string is. I'm gonna hit it blue there. We're gonna put maroon right on top of it. All right, and then I'm gonna go back with just a little blue right on that string. And we're gonna hope that it'll be like a blue lightning bolt. This is black. All right, that's it. No, it's not. All right, let's see what we get with that. Oh, green is lemon. What is this? Lemon squeeze. That's what this green is, lemon squeeze. If you want to hide a lot of color, you can throw that maroon and maybe a little black on it. It'll wash, color a lot of your colors up. All right, let's just start having fun here. I'm a fan of the blues. Remember, you guys, if you're putting down your color, then you got light and dark. That's what will give you your contrast. The same thing goes. You got your color on one side, on the back side of it's going to give you another reveal, right? So if you ever do a spiral, you do all your color on one side, flip it over and cover it with black and see what happens. Just enough of that yellow on there to try to keep it away from the blue. Trying to keep it away from the blue. Not using the yellow to keep it away from the blue. I don't want everything turning green on me. What I'm doing here, those are random drops, right? Now I'm going back and hitting the randomness with color of the same color. That way it ain't me. I'm just doing what they tell me to do. Touching it with black. Okay? I'm just touching it with black. Doesn't seem like much. Right? Find your little spots. See that? There's another tie right there. Hit those. Hit your points of black. You may get lucky and get an eyeball. That's all I'm gonna say. You may get a butthole too, who knows? All right. Now we're gonna do some, we're gonna make this corner over here really blue. Why? Because that's what the voice in my head said. Now I'm putting that maroon in between the yellow and the blue. I don't want it turning green on me. Only because we have a lot over there. I feel like we already got a good amount. Oh, look at there, we're hitting that yellow right on top of that maroon. Kind of giving me a brown color, which I absolutely love brown. I love copper, or bronze, I guess is really what it is. Big fan. I put some red on that. And this is another thing I like doing. Watch this. No tender mountain that we breathe. That's another thing you could do. Get some of that old color in there that's got a lot of pigment in it. Makes it kind of solid. And then you can wash it out with another color so it doesn't get a chance to cake up on you. No, should be telling you what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is just mixing those colors, letting them mix together. There was an old, I cannot remember the guy's name. I watched a video he made a long time ago, and what he did, he added water, he had a little glass of water, and he would just have a dropper. I actually had something like this. He would just pull his color up, and then stick it over there, pull a little bit in this, a little bit in that. You could see what it would be mixed inside of it, you know, and it would mix them together. So you could thin things out on the spot, you know. So you could literally turn a color more pinkish if you wanted. You can see what it looks like on the inside, you know. You want to get it a little darker. And then he'd go hit his, it wouldn't be as red, you know, and then he would, when he'd done, he'd just wash it out and suck up some more color, clean it out with a little water. And what I learned though, watching that, was like I could literally thin or make the transition of color on my pieces instead of like mixing the color to get it that way that I wanted it. If that makes any sense. And I love just using the primary colors. It just makes such cool colors. You can literally make any color you want. soda ash. So what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and getting that started. I'm going ahead and getting that locked in. It takes up that space. Alright, well, I got a little green on the back side of the yellow. Now I'm hitting black on it. Cover up the mess I made. And why not? We'll put a little black right there too. Doesn't that look good? I think it looks good. In fact, I'm gonna do some right here too. Weight of the world. Yeah, that's the thing about tie-dye. There's nothing you can do wrong. You don't like it? Bleach it. Start over. We're gonna leave that white. Screw it. Now, looking through this whole thing, one thing I want to see. See my fuzzies? There's not enough saturation in this yet. What I really don't want to do is I don't want to color up my color palette that I made so far, because I love the blended colors here. I love that. I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to be mindful of it. Being mindful at the same time, trying to cover up some of this the fuzzies. So you can go back in with a lighter color in those areas. That was that blue I wanted to keep right there. Hit that yellow. Remember, again, this is UV. It's gonna look good in the black light. So anywhere I see like a little bit of fuzzies, I'm just kind of trying to hit it with the same color that's on it already. I mean, it ain't gonna be perfect. Alright. I want to hit some of these lines. Some black. You can put it in a little squirt bottle, like a applicator if you like. I want it to follow the string. So I'm trying to get it to do to some degree. I always find the yellow and blues go deeper, so I like to add that at the end. I think it penetrates a little bit further into the folds and follows the string work. It'll give me some more highlights and stuff. Now I did put black on it, right? So once that black's on there, it's going to be hard to get anything around it, but the areas that didn't get hit, hopefully the yellows and blues will come out. I think we're done. Hour and 45 minutes. Turning the soda ash up. Hope y'all have enjoyed this very long video. Again, I said I'm not going to edit, and I'm not. People can fast forward if they don't want to see the part. I'm leaving it alone. Now, you see here, the one thing that I've kept right here, yellow. So, right there, we're going to keep that pointing up. What we are going to get out of this is a washed out look from that. It will have a little bit of a washed out look. There's some very heavy saturations here, down in here. There's some very light color here. Those are going to wash out also. Still, I'm wondering why must I lay low? No, I think it makes the danger. I don't know why I just did that. You want to see something fun? Oh God, that'd be stupid of me. Cover the whole thing with black. All black. You never know. I mean, why do anything? I don't know. All right, y'all. There we go. We moved. We ruined the shirt. You see what he did at the very end? So stupid of him. Starting to boil. All right. Why did I do that? I don't know. Same reason I don't know why I'm doing this. Why? Because, you know, this is the thing about tie-dye. There is no right or wrong. It's all experiments. It's all fun. It's childlike. It's like, you know, you want to stay in between the lines your whole life? Do it. I mean, if that's what you want. I don't want to do that. I don't want to stay in between the lines. Hell, I actually got sent home a note in kindergarten because I don't stay between the lines. Believe that shit? Kindergarten. He doesn't stay in between the lines. My son, we're going to California Tuesday. He just sent me a message. I'm genuinely so excited for Cal. Me too, buddy. Me too. That's where my kids were born. In Lake Tahoe. And now we live in Georgia and South Carolina, so that was because we went through some things. Alright, y'all. Pretty dark. Let's see if the video is gonna make it. What do y'all think? Think it's gonna make it? Make it to YouTube? I might just be talking to myself. Might just be a lonely 2 hours. Or 1 hour and 52 minutes so far. Now, where did that string break at? That was the fun part. That's it. I think we found it. There it is. Cool. At this point, we just try to find something to reuse the string because we don't want to waste it. You know, everybody turns heroes. Look at them balls, look at that. Everybody turns heroes. Tonight. And then I gotta go to work, y'all. I was supposed to be working this whole time. But I'm glad I could have fun with you guys for a little bit. People and the voices in my head. I see y'all are at this point. Y'all are just the voices in my head talking, watching me. Now, sometimes I'll do the same thing. I'll dye it up, and then I put it in my dehydrator. Or maybe I'm gonna put it in the microwave. This one, I use boiling water to set the dye, wash out the dye. I mean, everything you do is going to create a different type of tie-dye. So, like, what are you going for? What's the look you're going for? I wanted to make a video that showed from start to finish a total tie-dye process, so someone could see it in time without, you know, having to wait a day or hours even. That was my intention. So my intention was to set the dye. I didn't intend to drop it in the bucket. I didn't intend to, you know, cover it with yellow at the very end and black at the very end. None of that was my intentions. It's just something that said do it, so I did it. What we're going to do here is get some boiling hot water. We're going to wash it. Papa's coming home. ball. We'll look at it. Why not? What do we think? Little UFO action going on. Little bleeding effect. Look inside here. That's crazy. I can't even tell what it is. That's some wicked stuff right there. Tear-jaw detergent. Tear-jaw detergent? Textile detergent. Wait for that water to get hot. Sorry. I want you to see something. Yeah, there's not a lot of color coming out of this. Most of it's out from what we just did. All I'm doing is just getting a little bit of water there. My water's starting to boil, and that's what I'm waiting for. Just kind of keep it washing. There it goes. Be careful doing this. I've burnt myself many times. So hit that shirt and bounce right off from your chest. many times I've used this thing. Put it this way, we ain't making soup with it anymore. Yeah, it's hot. Now, you're not supposed to do this, but I did it. I cut a hole in the top of my Panda. Let's see what happens. If I wanted richer colors, if I wanted it to be like, well, look, if I wanted it to be like this shirt, I would have put it in my dehydrator. All right, that's not what I was going for. So these are deep rich shirts. Now check this out. See this here? I try to wash out the sides so I keep the center looking like it does. The reason I want that washed out look is because it's going to give me contrast. So what I do is I put the dye on it, and then I hit it with hot soda ash in the bottle before I untie it. And it gives me this look, okay? I try to wash it out so I get the brightness in the center on this piece and the washed out look on the other side. This one is just straight dye. Straight dye on it. Kept it wrapped up, put it inside the dehydrator for over 11 hours in there. Every piece you're gonna do is gonna look different, and everything you're gonna do is gonna be an experiment. And that's, let's play, you know, let's keep playing together. Thing is I may not like something and you may like it, and you may like something and I might not. All right, y'all, thank y'all for watching with me playing this game. Try something, do something, experiment, and then show it to me. Oh, you see anything in there? I'll put a photo at the very end here with it with the black light. I got it upstairs, so I'll do that for y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.